now in the learning objectives. Again, di ba? The learning goals are your competencies. The learning objectives has to be anchored in your learning competencies. Now, how do you create the objectives? Sinasabi natin, objectives has to be measurable. Paano masabi na measurable siya? Okay? So, objectives have to be able to tell the learner how they will be able to know. Not merely guess whether or not they have learned or understood the lesson. So, kailangan, the objective itself, pag binasa ni learner, alam niya kung anong gagawin niya. Hindi yung question mark, paano ko ba malalaman na nakuha ko nga itong objective na ito? Ganon. So, that's what measurable means. How they need to know, how they will be able to know that they understood the lesson. So, what are some steps in writing effective learning objectives? First and foremost, we have to consider for whom are you writing your learning objectives. We have to analyze our target audience. If I'm teaching in college, my students will be bringing with them their learnings or their knowledge from senior high, from junior high. So, meron silang alam. Okay. I am teaching art and space in PNU. So, since the same subject is existing in senior high school, then I can assume that hindi sila blanco pag pumasok sa klase ko. Okay? So, that being said, I can have my learning objectives skip the lower levels and focus on the higher order thinking skills. But for the case of DepEd, if we're teaching in junior high, kanina sabi nyo, some of you are teaching in elementary, most of you are teaching in junior high and senior high, and then some are in college like me. So if we are in the senior high and junior high, we have to know or we have to think, did the students encounter this topic already or is this their first time in this particular topic? Kasi kung first time nila makikita, first time nila malalaman yung topic na yun, then when we write our objectives, it will be geared towards the lower orders. Up until, let's say, application. Okay? Yun yung, kasi, hindi familiar, hindi pa alam ng estudyante yung topic. So, kailangan i-build up natin yung knowledge nila about it, di ba? Even though we are aiming to have higher order thinking skills, especially in grade 7, kung unang pasok sa high school, sa junior high school, syempre iba yung napagdaanan nila ng elementary. Hindi lahat ng topics natin sa grade 7 ay nadaanan na nila ng elementary. Yung iba pwedeng simula pa lang, di ba? That is why we have this spiral progression. So that our objectives will also be spiraling. Na parang hopefully by the time that they go to grade 10, grade 9, grade 10, we can now focus on the higher order thinking skills. Do you follow? Kasi di ba, kung wala kang alam, tapos sinabi sa'yo ng teacher mo, i-apply mo yun, paano mo siya gagawin? Eh, hindi mo nga alam kung ano yun. Di ba parang, an example would be, if I'm told to do photometry, okay? Hindi natin alam lahat, or well, very few of us know what photometry is. Okay? Kahit ako, recently ko lang siya nalalaman. So when I am asked to do photometry, hindi ko siya kayang gawin, 'di ba? Kasi wala akong idea about it. So what should happen would be I have to get the defined part. So yung remembering, yung pinakamababa sa Bloom's Taxonomy, kailangan ko siya mapagdaanan para magawa ko yung next levels. Okay, same way grade 7. So sa grade 7, acceptable na mas madami tayong remembering, understanding, kasi nga, we are in the lower levels. Di ba? We have this, we have to build the foundation where we can create the higher order thinking skills. Kasi if we are not able to create that foundation, then how are we going to build what's on top? Something like that. Okay? Number 2, make sure that there is one measurable verb in each objective, and this is reiterated in number 3. In number 3, because we only have, it is advisable that every objective that we create will only have one verb. because we want it measurable, right? So as stated here, if your objective statement has two verbs, paano kung hindi niya nagawa yung pangalawa? Eh di hindi mo masasabi na na-attain niya yung objective na yun. 'Di ba? Let's say ang dito ay define and apply. Do medyo malayo, 'di ba? If you want them to, if they can define but they cannot apply, edi hindi siya nag-demonstrate ng mastery. Hindi niya na-reach yung objective na iyon. So, pag hindi niya na-reach yung objective na iyon, edi hindi mo masasabi na ma-reach niya yung goal. Remember, the objective has to be met first before you can actually say that the goal has been met, or in our case, the learning competency has been met. So, kung hindi niya ma-attain yan, edi hindi mo rin ma-attain ang MELC. Frustrating for everyone. Okay. Then number 4, strive to keep all your learning objectives measurable, clear, and concise. We are familiar with the acronym of SMART, diba? Pag tinanong sa inyo, paano gumawa ng objectives, ang sagot natin lagi ay SMART. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound. Okay? So, yun ang ating usual na definitions or criteria for making an effective objective. And we really have to practice that, along with that student-centeredness. So this is the Bloom's taxonomy that can help us in creating our objectives. Remember, we always have to think about our students. Nasa na estudyante? Grade 7, elementary, karamihan ng ating objectives will be limited to remembering, understanding. Pwede at the end of the course or at the end of the grade level, you reach applying. Pero very few ang umaabot dun sa higher, especially kung first time nilang ma-reach ang particular topic. Kasi kung in-name mo agad ang mataas, tapos first time nila yun, ma-frustrate nga tayo pare-pareho. Okay? Pero kung sakaling may content na sila, alam na nila, let's say sa senior high kayo nagtuturo, so it is somewhat assumed na kung natutunan ng mga estudyante yung mga basics, pwede ka na mag-start ngayon sa applying. Or hindi na ganun karami ang iyong lower order thinking skills, mas madami na ngayon yung higher order thinking skills. Hindi ba? Kasi may foundation na eh. May pinagkukuhanan ka na. So, dapat yun, talagang literal na nire-recall na lang nila at kaya na nilang i-apply sa mga higher grade levels. Okay? So, here are some questions that can help us in framing our objectives when we are targeting remembering. So, the question is, can the student recall or remember the information? If it's understanding, can the student explain ideas or concepts? If it's applying, can the student use the information in a new way? Analyzing, can the student distinguish between the different parts? If it's evaluating, can the student justify a stand or decision? And if it's creating, can the students create a new product or point of view? Okay, so kaya usually, ang higher order thinking skills natin nasa higher grade levels yan. Grade 9, grade 10, 11, and 12. Kasi sila yung meron ng, it is the hope. And it is assumed that the grade 7 and 8 will already have enough foundation, kaya po siya spiraling. Kaya yung aim natin ng spiraling from grade 7 or yung K-12 na spiraling is really to build up. So, ganun din sa ating objectives. We build up the objectives accordingly. And we can do that if we always keep in mind, ano ba ang alam ng aking estudyante? So, pero wag naman tayo masyadong harsh sa estudyante na hindi niya to na laging ang sinasabi natin, ay hindi niya to alam, hindi niya to naan. Wag naman masyadong ganung harsh. Baka naman mamaya, alam naman talaga niya, na-judge naman natin sila. So, we can always ask, di ba? We can always ask our students. That is why we have diagnostic exams. Yun din yung reason kung bakit may pre-assessment ang modules natin. Diba? Asa na siya? So, pre-assessment will help the students and the teachers to determine where are they. So, nandun pa ba sila sa lower level? Nandun na ba sila sa higher level? So, that is it.